Nations match of the weekend as Ireland take on Italy. It's a very, very cold afternoon in Dublin. There have been some snow showers overnight and a temperature of about 3 degrees as you take a look at the Six Nations results to date this weekend. England giving Wales an absolute thumping by 52 points to nil. France doing a decent job in their victory over Scotland by 26 points to 3. And of course today's action sees Ireland take on Italy. And here's a look at the table as it stands before today's game. England and France on full points. England though ahead on that significant points difference. Wales and Scotland next. Ireland and Italy both looking to get off the mark on this freezing day in Dublin.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have our two teams on the pitch. Coming from the back to them, please put your hands together for the team from Italy.
Well, Italy making their way from the dressing room as the crowd are eventually making their way to the seats. It's a bitterly cold afternoon in Dublin, and it's, well, in the shadows, about 1 or 2 degrees at best, and we're aware that a snow flurry or two may be on their way later in the afternoon, but that is for later, as Italy, who of course started out their campaign against England last week with a 42-7 defeat. Having said that, for the first 40 minutes they were ultra competitive, and a side that continue to progress as their participation in the Six Nations continues. They were the perennial 5th or 6th place finishers when they entered the competition, but that slowly improved. In 2014 they were 4th, 2015 they were 3rd, and signs there that they continue to be competitive as Ireland make their way, led by captain Griffin. There she is, very disappointed with what unfolded in Paris, or should I say further south down in Toulouse last weekend. And Cole Cronin back on the bench for Ireland this afternoon as the teams come in front of us, and we will pause for the anthems.
So our two teams joined by our match officials, referee Tim Baker, and the two assistant referees Helen Ryan and John Carville. And we begin today's ceremonies with the playing of the national anthems, Italy first.
Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se desta, dell'elmo di Scipio si è cinta la testa, dov'è la vittoria, deve porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma il Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò.
Worth the entry price alone. Always the Italian anthem sung with gusto by the players, and a smattering of friends and family here to support as well. Yeah, a lot of intense faces in there for Ireland, hoping, believing, and in many ways needing a big performance and a result in Donnybrook this afternoon. And here is a check on the Irish team. The big change in the back line is the introduction of Katie Fitzhenry into the outside centre channel to win her 9th cap back from 7th duty. And in the second row, the new second row partnership of Paula Fitzpatrick and Nicola Friday. Friday winning just her 5th international cap at 22 years of age. Only started playing the game just over 4 years ago. So big day for her and for that Irish side. And the Italian side, well, it's the 5th anniversary almost of Ireland's Grand Slam win in the Parabaggio just outside Milan, and there are 3 of these players who played against Ireland on that day. The fullback Furlan, the scrum half Baratin, and the hooker Bettoni all played against the Irish side that won the Grand Slam that day. And alongside me is the woman who captained Ireland that day, who is Fiona Coughlin. Fiona, your thoughts as we look at the replacement benches for both sides on what might unfold this afternoon?
This is quite an experienced Italian side, you know, lots of caps across the park. However, the standard of game that they played, club game, and then they haven't had many internationals. They played a warm-up game there against France in the autumn internationals, but before that there wasn't much going on with them, so it's difficult to know where they're at. They obviously last weekend had a good first half against England, and then the England power and fitness played through in the second half and England won comfortably. So with this Irish team today, I think it's about just being patient and controlled, going through the phases, and ultimately I think Ireland are the better team and will scrape out a win, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought win that they get.
So then, Tim Baker, the referee from Hong Kong, blows his whistle, and we will get ourselves underway at the start of the second weekend of Six Nations action for both Italy and Ireland. The 2 games have taken place, victories for England and France. over the weekend as Griffin and Ireland start very well. And here's Niamh Briggs, who attacks the line. Briggs very quiet last week by her own high standards. Just wasn't a huge amount of ball available from the Irish pack against France. We'll be expecting more from Briggs. And that woman, young Megan Williams, starts on the wing today. Grew into the game last week. Here's one of Ireland's survivors, Malloy, from 5 years ago. And the doctor is off and running, and Ireland need to get to her. She almost got isolated, but experienced enough to hold up and wait for the support to arrive. There's Lindsay Peat crashing Ireland up to the 22. So much better from Ireland the opening minutes. Just as I say that, the ball retention, not what it should have been, as Ireland got to Claire Malloy.
Use it now, please.
They didn't protect the ball, and Italy have turned it over. And an opportunity for the Italians through their scrum half and captain Baratin to clear their lines, and all that good work by the open side. Well, Ireland find their way back inside their 10-metre line. Just a word on the conditions before Fiona comes in. A blustery old wind that's behind the Italian backs.
Great start from Ireland, brilliant intent, strong carries, and then we see Claire Malloy at her best. That's her brilliant footwork, breaking through the tackles, sucking in four players. I think Lindsay Peat needed to give the ball out there. They had a four-woman overlap, and she took it in, and then a turnover, brilliant turnover by Italy.
It's going to be a difficult day for hookers and kickers alike, and with that in mind, Cleona Maloney to a shortened Irish line-out, and that one is just about back for Ailsa Hughes, the scrum half, and then on to Griffin again. That's a second strong carry from Ireland's captain at number 8. Here's Briggs. Through the hands it goes. Fitzhenry. And that one doesn't go to hand, and it's Ali Miller who has to pick and go. Miller winning her 43rd international cap. And just to round out that connection between the Grand Slam team of 5 years ago and now Miller, along with Briggs
got forward off blue on the ground.
Claire Malloy, the 3 remaining members of the Irish team that played on that day. A team, of course, that also included one Joy Neville, who played at number 8 that day and made her debut, successful debut as a Pro 14 referee on Friday night in Ravenhill.
Yeah, we just see there from Ireland, they actually won the line-out quite well, went through a couple of phases, a bit of sloppy ball and lack of accuracy that we ended up 5 metres back from where the line-out started. First scrum will be interesting. Ireland's scrum held up very well last week against a powerful French pack.
Yeah, if there was a positive to come from Ireland's performance last week, it was that scrum, or this scrum, and it's fed by Ailsa Hughes. And Griffin picks and goes and runs into her opposite number. Hughes, Briggs, Miller in the midfield. Ali Miller off and running, almost up to halfway, grabbed a hold of by Busato, who made the tackle and did well, but Briggs has got players outside her. And here goes Lindsay Peat, and almost got the offload away to Megan Williams. But signs from Ireland in the opening minutes of intent and a worry as well in midfield. It looks like Ali Miller has done herself damage in this effort.
Yeah, we just see Ali Miller coming in off her wing, looking for work, and a great tackle there by Solari that brought her down and seems to be injured. But Ireland need to get the ball into those wider channels. I think that's Italy will be a bit exposed out there because they suck in quite a lot, and we saw there again Lindsay Peat probably should have given that ball a fraction early. She waited for the tackle and forced a knock on them by Italy.
Ali Miller's in real trouble, and same sort of, well, it's tough to watch. Same sort of distress that we saw young Cooney in last week. And the news on her is that it's a season-ending injury, and we hope that Ali Miller's is not similar, but it doesn't look good right now.
No, Ali's the type of player that you want. She's a game changer, really. Like when she gets on the ball, really exciting. Every time she touches the ball, you think something's going to happen from it. And we could see there the intent that she ran at, and certainly you don't want to lose any player, but certainly not a player of that calibre.
And it'll be Claire McLaughlin, who started in the centre for Ireland last week, who's going to come in to replace Miller, and it'll mean a shuffle around. We'll see what they do, but that injury particularly harsh on Ali Miller, and the stretcher has been called for, as you can see, and it's going to take a moment or two for the medical staff to take Ali away.
Yeah, not having a winger sub really on the bench, the two centres in Michelle Claffey and Claire McLaughlin, and I would imagine Claire would probably come on the wing. She wouldn't have played a lot there, but predominantly she plays club level at 12, and last week was used at 13, so a new position for her on the wing, and I think that's something that Italy will now look to exploit, particularly with their kicks.
McLaughlin will win her 9th international cap. But a good start in terms of, notwithstanding the injury to Alison Miller, a good start in terms of what Ireland are attempting to do and the execution of that, which wasn't good last week, albeit under pressure from the French side that defended very well.
Yeah, definitely France are a different beast entirely, but this is what Ireland need to do. They need to attack Italy, go, as I said, go through the phases. They will get sucked in, and when they get sucked in, that space will be out wide to finish. But, you know, it will take time, and I think we're trying to force it a little bit, sometimes give the ball a little bit earlier into the wider channels, as opposed to waiting for the tackle, which we tried to do twice, and of course a turnover and a knock on.
There's Claire Malloy, Ireland's captain during the Rugby World Cup, of course, when Niamh Briggs was initially announced as captain but was unable to take place, so Malloy took over, and the woman who plays her club rugby in Bristol, managing that with her medical career in Cardiff and her training with the Irish team. It's a full life, shall we call it. You know her well, Fiona. It's a huge commitment.
Unbelievable, and that's just the type of person Claire is. She gives 100% to everything, and she's so committed. And you know, it's tough being in exile sometimes playing, because you're training on your own during the week and you're putting in those hours on your own, and particularly then being a doctor on top of that, working crazy hours. But she's an unbelievable athlete and world class player. She'd make any team in the world, and I'd say she's one of the first names on the team sheet every week.
Yeah, no doubt she is of that standard. It showed during the World Cup, and we've seen it throughout the last couple of Six Nations. Claire Malloy is something special. I'm afraid I'll use an Ali Miller. You can see they're now calling for further stretcher and further medical staff to come out and help. And just so you're aware, a decision has been made downstairs, and the right decision, that such was the significance of the injury to Ali Miller. We're not going to re-show the pictures.
Yeah, this is a break in the game, and obviously it's how players come back from this and the focus. Obviously the Irish girls have to forget about the fact that Ali got injured and focus on the next task, and it's tough when one of your most potent players and now captain Ciara Griffin and Niamh Briggs are going to go over just to make sure she's okay, which clearly she isn't, but you know, just give her a bit of support. But they need to focus on the next task, which is going from the next play, and Ireland really need to just get back into the game where they started and focus on what they're doing.
She's moving.
Megan Williams on the left-hand side, and Ireland's replacement Claire McLaughlin on the right. Just underneath us here in the commentary position, the coaching staff on both sides. Crowd, hard to give you an official figure, no doubt we'll get that before the end of the game, but a couple of thousand in Donnybrook. And just a word again on the conditions. That wind behind the Italians in this first half, but very much going down into that left-hand corner as Claire Malloy and Elisa Hughes contribute to the applause for Alison Miller, and she's taken away.
Yeah, it's going to be over there. Just wait till she's off. Yeah, I had it, yeah. Hang on. Time on.
So then,
off. Green.
As we approach 4 minutes of game time after a lengthy stoppage at Donnybrook. We're set to go again.
Bind.
Elsie Hughes, Ireland's scrum half, lines up alongside the Italian captain Baratin, but the referee wants front rows to step back and go again. Ireland's front row, Lindsay Peat wearing cap number 18 or 19, I should say. Cliona Maloney wearing And in cap number 15 and Fiona Reedy. And in cap number 9, that is Baratin. 79th international appearance for the Italian side this afternoon. And she feeds, and Ireland get a really good push on that scrum. And onto it goes Malloy. And the ball is turned over, and it's there for Ireland, and Briggs fires it out to Nubu, and now Fitzhenry, and Ireland are attacking with intent. Fitzhenry saw a gap, tried to go through it, but the door shut closed. Hughes for Maloney. Maloney straightens the line up to the 22. Options both ways for Ireland's scrum half. Goes the more open of the two sides. Just into the 22. Hughes now for Briggs, and Briggs, little show, thought about going, ball spilled. Referee says play on, no suggestion of a knock on. Nubu down the narrow side. Nubu keeps the ball in hand, and Italy are being dragged one way and then the other. Briggs again. Lindsay Pete almost around the Italian tackler. Ball well presented, really well recycled by Ireland. Maloney now. Through the phases Ireland go. Credit to the Italian defence. Holds firm so far. Niamh Briggs, not a huge amount of room, and the ball is stripped away from her. And Italy have the turnover again. Ireland turn it back. But we'll go with a knock forward, and that tells you everything you need to know. Frustration from Briggs, puts the hand up, but much better from Ireland again.
That's what we're talking about. It's going through the phases. We just see here Niamh Briggs just a little bit over-eager, trying to look around, see if there's an awful lot on. Takes her eye off the ball, and then a knock on. But better by Ireland. Simple things, going through the phases, cleaning out the rucks. Probably move the ball a little bit faster away from those rucks, just because we have numbers out wide.
Let's do that.
Referee just having a little word with the Irish front row, wanting them to stay square. It was a very impressive scrum over on that far side that led to all that opportunity for Ireland's women. They'll be looking to put the pressure on this Italian scrum once again, as Baratin will feed, and Guy, Bettoni and Ricci in that front row under real pressure. It's an experienced front row. A couple of 50 cappers in there, but they're retreating. They did well. And back to receive the kick is Flood. Kim Flood plays her club rugby with Railway. Griffin in over it. Down the narrow side goes Hughes. Maloney, good ball skills. Well tackled by the Italian number 8, Adeghetti. Hughes and Briggs. Lindsay Pete, she's carried a lot. Is the former Dublin footballer and international basketball player as well. Briggs almost got the pass away to Fitzhenry, but it went forward from the Blackrock College outside centre. Wexford woman who was on sevens duty in the first weekend, back at outside centre. There was the line, just slightly ahead of the pass from Briggs.
Yeah, another powerful scrum by Ireland. That was something we pinpointed last week. You see Claire Malloy right down on the ball, and that's something they need to use as a platform. After that, then we saw Katie Fitzhenry. It was the right line. Rigoni was up. There was a dog leg in the defence, and the gap was there. It was just now ball to hand, and they're through the gap. From half Baratin, captain as well. She is a phenomenal player. You know, time and time again, when the Italian pack hasn't necessarily been going forward, she just seems to get the ball and do something brilliant with it. And she's some really exciting backs outside her, the likes of Rigoni and Furlan.
Again, Ireland get the squeeze on, and Adeghetti can't get it away, and it's Fitzhenry who comes away with it, and she's going to get away. She is. Pass back inside, goes to hand, and it's there for Ireland. Griffin picks and goes. Another Irish injury is Anna Kaplis is on the ground, but the ball is in hand of Maloney. Maybe she should have let it go.
Push, Blue, push.
With McLaughlin outside her, but it's there for Hughes again. Here's Paula Fitzpatrick.
Blue.
Ball for Briggs. Ireland down to 14 again.
Ball's there.
Nubu's trying to dig it out.
Rolling.
And Ireland have the advantage as Italy don't get away, and the penalty to the women in green. Hughes takes it quickly. Hughes, Fitzpatrick, Ireland, 2 meters short. Bodies pour in. Briggs, Niamh Briggs, is she there?
Short, release, Blue.
No, says the referee. Hughes has a look. Nubu one way. Captain Griffin the other. Italy desperate defending, but they're holding firm for the moment. But Ireland have numbers. They have to. Nubu, and in goes Williams and under the posts, and Ireland have their first points of the Six Nations for 2018.
International try, and again it comes off that powerful scrum, putting Italy under pressure. Turnover ball. They move the ball through the phases. Keep going at the Italians. The Italians get sucked in, and there was 5 Irish players out there to score the try, and Megan Williams goes under. Here we see Elsa Hughes, turnover, Katie Fitzhenry, powerful run. Locatelli couldn't get her hands on her. Brilliant inside pass to Lindsay Peat. Great resourcing of the ruck. And again, Cliona Maloney had a player outside. She decides to take it in. Another great ruck. It goes out, Niamh Briggs, this is Paula Fitzpatrick on a good, powerful carry. And this is it, this is the forwards carrying at the heart of the Italian defence. And here we see it, brilliant pass out. And you look at all those Irish players, and it's an easy run in for Megan Williams.
Megan Williams, on the day of her second international cap, gets the first try in green in the Six Nations. And all that coming as all the good work has come from the Irish scrum. And if you see one of the men around that Irish grouping at the moment, it's Mike Ross, the former international prop forward, who has been working with the women's scrum, and on the evidence of what we've seen the first 2 weeks, it's paying dividends as Niamh Briggs sets up the conversion attempt. The flags, and it's 7 points for Ireland. Caplice is back standing and walking towards her team. And everything bar that moment, that significant moment for Ali Miller, has been positive for the women in green in the opening 11 minutes.
Yeah, and back to that scrum again. You have 2 players in the second row who really predominantly aren't second rows, but the fact that they've done a bit of work there, that they know their role and they're able to go in there and produce a performance like that in the scrum is heartening, and it's something that they're going to build their game plan off.
And Ireland look to build from here. There is the try scorer, Williams. And Griffin, who runs over the top of Lucia Guy, and Ireland have the ball. Italy making life a little bit difficult for them. Here's the second row, Friday, and now Williams again tries to come back in field to the support. Well against the opening half. Remember, it was 7 points apiece after 40 minutes. No boot, tries to get the pass away. Fitzhenry, there was a knock forward there. The referee has seen it. He's playing advantage to the Italians.
Onside green.
And what can Italy do from broken play? It's taken on by Ricci. And Italy happy to keep that ball in hand. It's second row, Ruza. And now
it's taken back.
It goes back, and it's gone straight into touch. And I think the advantage was over from the knock forward. The referee agrees. And Italy, well, that's self-inflicted by the inside centre Rigoni. The ball brought back into the 22, so she couldn't fire it straight into touch. She did fire it straight into touch, and now Ireland have the throw into this line out.
Yeah, first line out here. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Again, they've lost a few line out jumpers in their second rows. They've really only Nicola Friday and Claire Malloy that are true line out operators there, so their options are reduced, but I've no doubt that they'll come something off this, might look to use their backs again.
Maloney. It's a little bit scrappy. Second line out that Ireland have had, and this one, like the last one, scrappy, but this time it's a turnover, and Maloney doesn't like the attention she's getting from the Italian captain, Barattin, but here you have it.
Yeah, we saw Claire Malloy there at 2, and she was up in front, so it was just a little bit sloppy by her part. She really should have taken that ball, you know, it was for her, and the Italians got a hand in, but really she should have attacked it a bit more aggressively.
Stability.
Yeah, Ireland left with some issues in terms of line-out jumpers since the retirement of Maz Riley from the Rugby World Cup, where Riley was their go-to person in circumstances like that. They've had to improvise, change around what they're doing, and with a new second-row partnership, Malloy is always going to be used in that capacity. On occasion, on that occasion it didn't work, but the scrum has worked. And the front rows go down and the referee will reset.
Yeah, we wouldn't really normally see Claire Malloy at 2 in the line out. Normally she's at the back of the line out, so they're just changing it around and keeping it simple. I suppose it's the right idea in this kind of wind to keep it at short and at the front, but again, Claire just needs to attack it a little bit more aggressively.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Baratin will feed again, and it's the number 8, Adageti, who comes away with it, and tackles are made. And the Irish back row, Malloy was there. Italian scrum half can see it, and it'll go back to Rigoni under pressure from Lindsay Peat, and it's taken. And well done by Hughes not to put her hands on that ball. Having got ahead, it would have been a penalty, but
Forward off green.
it was knocked forward by McLaughlin, and the scrum will go to the Italians. They got away with it there because Rigoni's kick wasn't good, and McLaughlin, she'll be annoyed at herself for that.
Yeah, she'll be annoyed there. Those unforced errors that you can't really count. It would have been a good attacking position to run off there, and you know, that was something that crept into Clare's game last week that found her on the bench this week, and you know, she's playing in a position that she's not used to now on the wing, and she wouldn't be used to fielding those balls. But really it was there for the taking.
Bind. Sit. Nothing on the side?
You see in the scrum, Ireland are setting quite low. They're lower than Italy, which puts them in a good position. Richie seems to be in a bit of pressure there on the loose head side, and she's quite tall and coming in at an angle as well. So that's where Fioriti needs to look to get under her and then try and push her back out.
Yes, it's Lucia,
Crutch.
or should I say Eleonora Ricci.
Bind.
Lindsay Peat for Ireland on this near side.
Steady.
And Sarah Baratin gets the ball away, and the Italians have ball in hand, a rare opportunity, and in midfield is the winger Magatti, and Magatti offloads, and all of a sudden Italy are in behind Ireland, and it's a terrific tackle from McLaughlin to ensure that the Italians didn't get to the Irish try line. She was the last line of defence, and all of a sudden the Italians have woken up from their slumber and have the ball in hand, and they are threatening this Irish line as away goes Ruza, the second row, and it's advantage now to the Italians. And Ireland,
No clear release.
all of a sudden, find themselves 3 metres short of their own line, and the Italians have burst into a bit of life.
Yeah, Italy can play when they have the ball. They haven't had the ball so far in the first 16 minutes, but that was brilliant off a scrum through. And we see Furlong then at her best. She's a brilliant full back, and running an open field, she's brilliant. She sucked in the Irish players, and it was a last cast tackle, really. You know, she'd broken through 3 of them and set it up, but then Ireland forced it into giving away a penalty because they were under pressure.
Rigoni sends it to touch. It was an initial break by Magatti, the winger, and then Furlan.
Time.
And then that second
Just
row,
checking the head.
Ruza, who made all the ground and found a way getting up to the Irish line. Sene Naupu
She's coming off HIA.
for a HIA, the medical staff. I'm going to have a look, and this is going to cause more disruption in the back line. Naupu, she doesn't seem like she wants to go, but it's the right decision for her to go. And if everything's okay, she can come back, but it's going to mean another reshuffle of the Irish back line at a crucial moment in defensive duty. It looks like Michelle Claffey is going to come in to win her first international cap. Claffey, Blackrock centre, will go in alongside Fitzhenry, you would think, or maybe McLaughlin might move into the centre. We'll see how Ireland go. But it is Claffey who's in, and Naupu who's gone for a HIA, and the Italians have this line out on Ireland's 5 metre line. Now, can Ireland compete? They can, and they can do better than that through their captain Griffin. They can come away with the ball, and Hughes and Briggs will complete the escape route, and that was good work defensively from Ireland.
Yeah, a huge moment there for Michelle Claffey. You know, she's been around a couple of years, and see their poor communication from Italy. No one actually jumping in the line out. Great turnover from Ciara Griffin. Good clear out the ruck, and simple kick the ball out from their own 22.
So Claffey does go in, as you'd expect, inside centre, with Fitzhenry outside her and McLaughlin out on the wing. And we're back with the Italian line out, this time though outside the Irish 22 for Vittoni, and the Italian line this time they take their own ball, and in midfield again it's the big running Rudda. The second row is asked to carry, and the tackles are good from Ireland. And now it's Rigoni, and Rigoni's little kick in behind, and Flood did so well Now the ball bouncing up, managed it all the way. That's her opposite number, Furlan. Furlan look to run it back, and Ireland through McLaughlin make the tackles, and it's there for Bartani. And now the Italians, well, they don't put the ball to hands. Bussato, the outside half, winning just her 3rd international cap, spilled it. Ireland have another injury problem. It's the substitute McLaughlin who's receiving attention, and she doesn't look like she's in great nick either. We'll come back to that as the Italians have players out wide and put the ball in hand, and it's the open side out there, Locatelli, who's put to ground. Ireland continue to play with just 14, and out on that far side, the player puts their foot in touch, and Ireland will get a throw into the line out, but it's quickly becoming an accident and emergency ward for the Irish backline.
Yeah, and they're kind of innocuous injuries that they're picking up, you know, nothing sinister or anything about them. They're just picking up a few knocks, and we see Nicole Cronin warming up now. If she was to come on, it'd be interesting what happens there. But just seeing there what Italy can do when they keep the ball in hand, you know, they need to look to attack Ireland, because Ireland were really sucked in there, and if Italy had given it a phase or two earlier, Italy had numbers out there.
Maloney, as Ireland continue to play with 14, and it's there for Hughes and Briggs, and that's a great pass from the scrum half of windy conditions to go that distance. And
stop forward.
The referee says there was a knock forward from an Irish hand, or a pass forward indeed, and it's going to be put into the scrum for the Italians. McLaughlin still receiving attention, although she's moved into a defensive position to take the medical
take your space
attention. And is she
crouch?
She's still got assistance with her as we go to this scrum.
Sit.
Now she's being allowed to continue. Ireland get the pressure on in that scrum, just what Ireland needed to do. Pack taking the pressure off their back line as Briggs with a little show and go. Hughes, try-scorer Williams, comes into the line. She's tackled by Rigoni, pumps the legs and gets a yard or two more. Ball should be there for Ireland. It's not. Ireland off their feet.
Number 15 got straight off your feet.
Get the penalty, and it's Flood who's penalised for going off her feet at the breakdown. And a chance for Rigoni to probe down the line and give the Italians a foothold deep inside Irish territory. But this scrum has been Ireland's most potent weapon.
Yeah, here we see it, all 8 at the right time. Ball goes in, and then the power comes through. Great turnover, and you see Malloy off the back. She moves the ball. Briggsy sees a gap, goes herself. But that's going to be the basis of everything good comes from them. It's either attacking or defensive scrums. They just are so powerful, so low, and they're working as a great unit. Bertoni
to a shortened Italian line out. The ball just about comes back on the Italian side, and this out half, Bussato, not for the first time, knocks the ball forward. It's just her 3rd international cap.
Foot off blue.
And I have to say, on both occasions she's knocked it forward. It hasn't been the most sympathetic of passes from her scrum half, although inviting her onto it.
Yeah, Bussato in for her 3rd cap. Madia, who was there for the last couple of games, did her shoulder last week, so it's huge losing your starting out half, you know, and particularly then with someone coming in with such little experience. I think even at the club level she wouldn't have that much experience. However, she does play club with Bartine, so they'd have a good relationship together, but she's just had a few unforced errors, and it's not as if the pressure has been hugely on her. Claire
McLaughlin, you can see her in the foreground, is getting attention, and that on the ground I think is clean. It is clean. Maloney. McLaughlin, though, I think has a contact lens problem now. Yeah, it's contact lens for McLaughlin. Maloney, it seems to be a hamstring. Here's where the Italians did do well against Ireland when they got the ball in hand. You're right, having made there, it sucked Ireland in, and that was Furlan winning her 63rd international cap, the fullback, who made the ground, and then a big run from Valentina Rosa.
Hello.
Yeah, tucked in 3 players. Here we see Bussato, Rigoni, then out the back to Rosa again. She's a big, powerful player, and they're going to use her to try and suck players in to get the likes of Furlan and Rigoni on the ball.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. We've still got an injured player, Green. We've still got an injured player. Yeah, we better stop that.
No sign of Sene Nupu returning just yet. Still a couple of minutes left on that HIA assessment.
Can we do it on the side, guys?
Yeah, not surprisingly, I think the referee's saying if it's just a contact lens problem, you need to do it on the side of the pitch.
A number of these Italian players actually moved to the Premiership in England last season to just, I suppose, get a better standard of rugby because their club system wouldn't be that good over there, and you had the likes of Furlan, even Passato overplaying with Harlequins, and you know that would have improved their game immensely, playing at a top level every week. And I think it's great for the game in the sense that they can do that, but they really need to develop their own structures initially to keep the players there and up the level in the club structures.
Sit.
So, into the second quarter of the game, and Ireland get the penalty at scrum time.
Number 1.
Yeah, it was against Ritchie pulling the scrum down, and I think she's going to be in trouble throughout the game. You know, she's quite high and she's coming in at that angle.
There's a real sign of the strength of that breeze. And Ireland did well to retain possession. Niamh Briggs has got a significant boot on her, and it just didn't find its way to touch. The wind held it right up. Here's Hughes and Caples, and that's good work from the flanker, who, having beaten her player just as she was trying to get the pass away, let it spill out of her hands.
It's got forward off Green. Blue ball.
And it'll be put into the scrum, Italian ball, or will they take the line out? The referee is saying scrum. I think the Italians would rather line out.
Yeah, it wasn't the best kick, and again it was the breeze, but Ireland recovered quite well, reclaimed the ball and came back down this blind side where there was space. Caplice ran across the pitch a little bit. Someone should have offered a switch, but it was encouraging to see that she is looking for that offload and people running off her, but it's important that you do it at the right time.
Sit, stay.
Front rows have gone down again on this near side. Lucia Guy this time went to ground, but the referee happy for it to continue, and in midfield is Silari, but Ireland go over it illegally to the referee. The Italians get the penalty, and again it's that woman Rigoni with the ball in hand. Beatrice Rigoni with the wind behind her. Should be able to find a decent touch, and trying to get every inch out of it. She didn't find touch, and it's taken by Lindsay Peace and offloaded to Claire McLaughlin, and it's there for Ailsa Hughes, and now the hard-running Nicola Friday. Hughes, Briggs, Griffin, captain, has carried well in this opening half. Briggs once more has a little look to see what's in front of her, takes on the tackle, then the offload from the ground. That's better from Ireland. Malloy, Fitzpatrick, and transferring the ball. That was off a player. Came off the back of one of the retreating players, and Ailsa Hughes didn't find her targets, but Ireland will get the foot into the scrum. It's the Italians' turn now to call on the medical staff, one or two of their players on the ground.
Yeah, it's the big powerful Rosa, second row down there, that injured, and she's certainly not someone they want to lose. She's been one of the predominant ball carriers there in the first 25 minutes.
Nupu is okay to continue, and with Nupu back, it means that Claffey will make her way back to the bench.
Okay. Keep your knees off the ground, okay? Need advice, spine. Green ball, let's go.
Yeah, we can see Italy aren't really contesting the ruck. It's tackler +1, and so it means that Ireland only have to put 2 players in, and it means that then there's people out wide. We just need to move the ball away a little bit quicker because Italy are getting sucked in really easily.
And it looks like, well, it's more than looks like, it is the end of the game for Rosa. So in her place will come Jade Franco to make her international debut. Franco, one of 3 Italian substitutes in line to make their debuts today.
Crouch.
She goes in
Bind.
to the flank.
Sit.
Change in the second row means that
Stay down.
Veronese, I think, has gone into the second row. We'll check
Play on.
that for you as
Play on.
Ireland through Fitzhenry is away, and it's to her opposite number who eventually makes the tackle, but not before the offload, and a terrific
First
offload
goal.
to Williams. And
First
Ireland
goal
find
there.
themselves up inside the
Hands
Italian
up,
10-metre line.
Green 10.
Now, on a couple of occasions,
Green.
Ireland have not protected the ball when they've got to that position. And the Italians turn it over again. And that's good work for the Italian back row, and it's there for Baratin, and that's the substitute, Franco.
Didn't survive.
And Ireland, having done good work, undo that work by turning the ball over very cheaply indeed.
Push onside, Green 7. Thank you.
Baratin. Maloney makes the tackle, Caplace goes after the ball. Griffin needs to get out of there. She does. It's Baratin, and then Bussato, and the ball in the hands of Solari, and then good work to Furlan, but big hit again, and McLaughlin's gone down once more.
Are you all right?
She's in trouble. She's in trouble. Claire McLaughlin.
Green ball there.
I think it's her right knee.
Yeah, just when we saw Ireland, here we just see the injury, a little play for Rigoni, good offload by Rigoni, and Furlan is looking to get the ball on the outside where Italy have numbers, and that's where we see Claire McLaughlin making the hit on Furlan, goes in with her right knee. Just see it there.
Yeah, it was a big hit from Fitzhenry just before that. But it's McLaughlin who's in trouble. And Claffey is making ready to come in again.
Good, 23.
McLaughlin's
Come
okay,
on.
I think.
Green ball.
Cook and Ulster, Claire McLaughlin restored to Ireland's left wing. We will resume with a scrum, and it'll be Ireland's put in. It is in fact Locatelli who's gone into the second row for the Italians, with Franco
Sit.
on the flank, and Veronese still there, and Ireland
Pushing through the mark.
infringe, and cheap free to give away.
What are you doing?
Baratin, and then Bussato, and Bussato tries to and nearly finds a gap in that Irish defensive line. Baratin digs it out, and there's Franco, and Lindsay Peat makes the tackle. Griffin and Briggs
Tackle!
help, and eventually the Italian put to ground. Baratin again, and Rigoni.
Push. Onside.
Slow ball for the Italians. Ireland have their defensive line set. As we head towards the half-hour mark, the tackle made by Friday. Franco, she's seen a good bit of the ball, hasn't she? And she's carried well in the 6 or 7 minutes she's been in this game.
Stay there, stay there.
Just what the Italians require. And a ball retention, ball carry. And as Lindsay Peat does a
One,
terrific
hands off,
defensive
one.
job for Ireland on the outside half of the
Two, take a
Italians,
step.
Jessica Bussato.
Glorious.
Ball in the hand of Duca.
You've lost it now too.
Pick from the outside centre, Silari.
On.
Till he go down the narrower of the two sides. Rigoni
Push, Green.
sets it up for Baratin. And the Italians back this way once more. Ireland not really committing too many to that ruck. Keep that defensive line set. The Italians going backwards, and the right decision is to kick over the top. And it's there for Flood, who's done really well. Evades the first tackle and looks to try and evade more. Goes to ground. Support arrives.
Hands
Maloney
up,
needs to
Blue!
get there and does. And Ailsa Hughes sets it up for Lindsay Peat, who's had a significant influence in both
Pass it.
scrum
Not
and
wrong.
open play throughout this game. Griffin again runs over Adegeti. Hughes, and Ireland.
Slow ball.
Referee says the ball is
Not
slow,
rolling.
and there was no obvious advantage, so back heel come for the penalty at the last breakdown, and the Italians
Slowing down ball.
need to get attention on to prop forward Lucia Guy.
That was a really good defensive line by Ireland, that there was no options for Italy, that Rigoni felt that she had to kick through. There was space there, but Kim Flood dealt with it really well. She claimed the ball, ran back at them. Here we just see it, evading the tackle, hits it up. We had a good ruck off this, and then forced a penalty against Italy.
How many green? Take a step, Blue.
Rigoni receiving attention.
Green. Come on.
Ireland told to get
How
on
many?
with it.
How many? 5.
Shortened line out. Friday and Fitzpatrick there. Caplace also. And it is Anna Caplace who rises. Good pass from Hughes to evade the onrushing Franco. Hughes once more. Good service from the scrum half. Fitzhenry again does well through the first tackle. Flood, and there's a foot and touch over the far side. Just for a moment it looked like the Italians might be away and free. Referee and touch judge pull it back.
Yeah, great work here by Fitzhenry, pushing off the tackle. You know, she's a fit, powerful player. Foot and touch there by Kim Flood. But again, she was trying to look for that offload, which is encouraging that they're looking for it, but it's doing it at the right time. And, you know, your risk there of basically giving the ball to the Italians to go through free. So it's important, it's good. I mean, I'm encouraged by the fact they're trying to offload, but it's definitely had to do it at the right time.
It's there for Maloney from the Italian throw, and that wind has really got up in the last 2 or 3 minutes now.
All available.
Briggs into the teeth of a gale. Nobu. Flood, Nobu on the wraparound. Fitzhenry got it at about the 4th bite of the cherry.
12. Ball's there.
Hughes.
Push.
Briggs. Malloy. Claire Malloy tries to dance around Franco.
She onside.
Hughes saw the onrushing Italian
Let it go.
defence, made the correct decision to keep the ball in hand. It'll be a pick from Reedy, who's hit hard by the ever-present Franco. You wonder why wasn't she on from the beginning. She's had a huge impact, the Italian substitute. And the Italians have stripped the ball, and here is Franco. And the offload to the number 8 Adegeti. Italy with the wind behind them, playing the right type of game, saying to Ireland, you'll have to go from back there. Flood very patiently, hoping, waiting for, and watching the ball over the line.
22.
Taps it down, and Ireland will have a 22 dropout. And Niamh Briggs is going to take this quickly. Italy fell asleep. And that's Fitzpatrick, Paula Fitzpatrick. Second row, back row. Captain of Ireland on occasion, makes good ground. Williams, the try scorer.
Push.
Ball there, Briggs protects it. And Griffin makes another yard. Hughes. Caplace, who's had a decent
21,
first
you
half.
lost it.
Hughes once more. Briggs. Oh. Fitzhenry did well to pick it up. Open play. Straightens the line. Tackle from Bettoni. Referee says it was high. Malloy, a little bit isolated. Claire Malloy. Ireland need to get to her. Williams sees the danger and is first to arrive. Hughes will dig it out. Friday, her second row partner Fitzpatrick there to secure the ball.
Your advantage.
Ireland going a bit side to side. Nobu. Briggs took her eye off it. Flood picks and is caught, and after all that,
got a high tackle
we'll go back
side,
for high tackles and offsides, and the captain has all sorts of options as to where she wants this penalty from.
Yeah, just see the high tackle there on Katie Fitzhenry as she's gone through. In fairness to Katie Fitzhenry, every time she's got the ball, she's looked to attack with intent. This is from a player who hasn't been training with the squad. She was away in Sydney with the Sevens for the month of January, so she hadn't trained with them. She comes in this week and she's making a difference.
Niamh Briggs dispatches the penalty to touch as we head towards the final 5 minutes of what has been an injury-disrupted first half. already in real time, 45 minutes old.
How many, Ireland? 5 again, Italy.
Ireland obviously looking for the shortened line out. Reasons being because they don't have the jumpers there for the full line out, but also gives them options. You look at the likes of Ciara Griffin and then Claire Malloy in the centre of the park, and that's where they'll be looking probably to get the ball.
Variation at the front of the line out, and it's gone from Fitzpatrick to Reedy, and it's there for Hughes and Pete and Briggs. And Ireland looking for something more before the break. Remember, they'll have the wins at their back in the second half. They got a loaded short side. Friday to Fitzpatrick. Good offload, well taken. Hughes,
well done.
Scrum half. Service has been impressive through this windy first half.
Tackle, release
continues to be. Scrum half. Hughes options both ways. This time goes for around half Briggs. No boot as Fitzhenry's used as a dummy. No boot as the sleet and indeed more like snow begins to fall at Donnybrook, and Eve Briggs rolling around the outside inside the final 4 minutes. Ireland have the ball and the advantage as Malloy puts her head down and gets go forward ball. Briggs, Flood, Williams, good work from Williams to step back inside. Really growing into that shirt is Williams and Kaplis, just with a line at her mercy. She could see the gap and almost through it, but spills the ball. But again, better from Ireland. And you have to factor in the conditions, which are really awful out there. And then went through a number of phases, did it really well just at that moment. Weren't able to continue.
Yeah, it originated at a line out, and then Ireland had quick ruck ball, which allowed them to get front football. They just seemed to, like, that was a perfect line by Anna Caples. Probably a bit of a hard pass by Claire Malloy to her, which should just been a little pop. But it's good endeavour what they're trying to do, but they really need to come away with something more before half time.
Italian
Take the weight.
put into this scrum, and Ireland have attacked this Italian scrum and done so successfully throughout the opening 37 minutes. Can they find possession from here, and they shift and go, and it's back on the Italian side. There's a huge tackle from Malloy.
You've lost the height. Not on the ball.
Righetti. The Italians have somehow managed to hold on to possession, and Rigoni fires it into touch, and there will be time for Ireland to have this line out and build once more and look for more before the break. But what a hit from Malloy.
On the line, Blue, you're
off
outside.
A brilliant scrum first and foremost. Ireland really need to be ruthless there. They need to go at that scrum. They're going to get good change off it. Here we see them, they're going forward. Malloy is up, low body position, and a brilliant hit.
Back 10 girls.
Out and out 7. Claire Malloy, there's all sorts of debate about whether they're, like, she's just pure 7.
She is in attack and defence. You know, she's always looking to get her hands on the ball in attack, and she's in those wide channels when we see her brilliant footwork. But in defence, she's just a terrier. She's on the ball all the time. Ireland
lost that line out. Williams got lost underneath that ball and somehow ducks out of the tackle. Franco. But Ireland find themselves back on the 10-metre line. Malloy almost up to, and indeed up to the halfway line, and it's there for Briggs and Nopu and McLaughlin, and McLaughlin has Fitzhenry outside her, and Fitzhenry's able to get outside the first defender, then put to ground. Ireland, minute and a half left to try and find more, but Briggs isn't able to control a rare loose pass from her scrum half. Hughes,
in the tackle.
It's a knock forward, and it'll be a scrum, and you feel Ireland are going to have to settle for 7 in the first half. But against those conditions, maybe they'll feel that's not a bad return, Fiona.
Yeah, look, they're playing into the wind, but I don't think they'll be happy at times with their accuracy. Their accuracy at times, you know, there's been knock-ons when they're in a really good position, turnover ball when they're in the 22. Here we see how effective the wind is, you know, taking the ball off the thrower, but also the kick, and we saw that earlier with Eve Briggs' kick not getting much distance and holding up in the air. But regardless of that, Ireland are inaccurate at times. You know, those passes have to go to hand, and they need to clear out the ruck. They're definitely the better team, and they look more threatening go forward, but they really haven't been efficient.
In and out quickly from that scrum for the Italians, and it's in the hands of Rigoni. Briggs makes the tackle, and it's there out, however, the scrum half put it down.
Yeah, I got it. Round the
Griffin
head.
makes the tackle, but it's high. And the referee awards
You're
the
round the
penalty
head,
to
yeah.
the Italians. And Rigoni will get play into the Irish half, and we will set up what will surely be the last passage of play before the half-time break.
Sounds good.
Here's a high tackle.
I don't know.
It's more
Numbers
of a
of
neck
three?
roll than it is a high
Fine.
tackle, but anything over shoulder height at any time in any position is going to get you penalised. Italians with one last chance
Gone
before the
backwards.
break, and the referee says that's gone backwards
Leave
rather
it,
than
Green!
forwards.
Green! Let it go!
We'll disagree, but he's the
Ball's
one that
there.
counts. Eventually dragged out by Baratin. Tackle from Fitzpatrick.
No. Don't swear.
Pick and go. The decision of the Italians, middle of the field, 10-metre line, options both ways. Here's Bussato, little kick over the top. McLaughlin chases back for Ireland. And onto it somehow comes Magatti. And Magatti got to it ahead of Flood. And the
Onside.
Italians, maybe something here before the break for them inside the Irish 22. Rare opportunity with ball in hand in the 22. Franco straightens the line. The Italians have numbers out wide. They've sucked Ireland in.
Run it, not rolling.
Just as I say that, Ireland get their defensive line set to get the numbers, and they have players both sides. They choose to go left.
Number one, not
The
rolling.
referee says Ireland not rolling away against Lindsay Peat. So penalty to the Italians, and Ireland
Shot a goal.
having been up inside the Italian 22 with 3 minutes to go and looking for more. Well, not alone did they not get that, but it looks like they're going to lose that 7-point lead going into the break. Penalty to the Italians, and the kick at goal is what has been decided by the captain, Sarah Baratin. She's asked Michaela Silari to come up and take this penalty attempt.
Yeah, in the lead up to that, we saw a wayward kick by Bussato, well claimed by Magatti. I don't know how she got herself on that ball. And again, we see Franco coming to the fore. Big ball carries, that sucked in the Irish defence, and that's where the penalty was given away.
So then, Silari with the first attempt on goal of this game from either side.
It's good.
Over it goes, as you'd expect, and Italy, with the last kick of the half, have their first points on the board. And it's that woman's try, Megan Williams, converted by Niamh Briggs, that gives Ireland 7. Silari's penalty for Italy gives them 3. Still all to play for at a freezing cold Donnybrook in Dublin. The half-time score is Ireland 7, Italy 3.
In Limerick, Sligo in the northwest, Virginia in Cavan,
You get the feeling in the second half that the Irish captain and coaching staff will have said territory, territory, territory first and play it from there. Would that be your assessment?
Yeah, certainly, and I think the girls said there in the analysis looking for Briggsy to use this wind a little bit and put Ireland down in Italy's half and go from there and just be a little bit more accurate in what they're doing.
And it will be Niamh Briggs who will get us underway at the start of this second half at Donnybrook. Wind behind Ireland in the second half as Briggs sends it high, and it's not controlled by the Italians, and an immediate opportunity for Paula Fitzpatrick and Ireland to get on the front foot. Lindsay Peets puts the head down, pumps the legs and gets Ireland to the 22. Hughes is there, and as she's there, and
tackle 9, release.
Ireland will definitely look at this, and it won't be pretty to watch in the video sessions that follow, because the number of times they've got themselves into really good positions and then just not manage the ball well at the breakdown. It's at least the fourth occasion on what that has happened, as the ball is dispatched to touch, and Italy in many ways allowed off the hook.
Yeah, Italy aren't overcommitting to rucks, but they're going in at the right time when Ireland are vulnerable and a bit, I suppose, soft in attacking and blowing out the rucks. Ireland are there, but they're not really clearing it, and they're not really being strong as a seal. So Italy are very clever when they go in, and as a result, they've turned over ball when Ireland are attacking in the 22, and it happened in the first half a couple of times, and we saw it there just now.
It was Batoni, the Italian hooker, who turned that ball over. And Ireland just about hold on to their own ball, but having said that, they knock it forward, and the advantage will be to the Italians, and they'll get the put into the scrum.
Foot off green.
Yeah, here we see the throw. They're looking to go to 4, Nicola Friday, but in fairness, Locatelli gets up well there at the front of the line, putting pressure on Cliona Maloney's throw.
A word as the Italians bring in their medical staff to have a look at Melissa Batoni, the prop forward, winning her 53rd international cap, has taken a knock and is going to require attention. A word on this new pairing for Ireland in the second row. A bit of the old and the new with Fitzpatrick, Paula Fitzpatrick, who of course played at 8 during the Rugby World Cup and did go into the second row at times alongside the young Nicola Friday. They've done well. Yeah, they've done remarkably well in probably a limited amount of time that they've had together in training in order to go in there. Obviously losing Ciara Cooney last week was a big loss, I suppose, in terms of set piece, but also her physicality around the park. But you know, they've stepped up to the mark, and they probably only had one session together on Friday evening, and in order to get, and it's 8 people, it's not just the second row, but in fairness, they're giving their front row good support, and there's a good foundation there, and I'm sure they won't mind having a defensive scrum here. It's gone so well in the first half.
First scrum. Shoulders out. Take the weight. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Feed from Baratin. And Italy go to their back line. And they've sucked Ireland in a little and have room out wide. Back inside from Stefan it goes, and then
you're falling. Push.
Silari.
Hands off green.
Kaplis.
6, no.
But it's there for Baratin again, and Italy in the narrower side, and that's good play from the outside half. Jessica Bussato. She kicks the ball into touch just outside the Irish 22, but the Italians managing the ball well. The option of kicking into that wind, really not one that they're going to be able to exploit. So it's going to have to be ball in hand, and it's going to have to be probing in behind Ireland rather than driving the ball into touch in the hope of getting territory. That's the way to do it.
Clever. I suppose Ireland have inexperienced wingers in the sense of Megan Williams, it's only her second cap, and then Claire McLaughlin, who's not a winger. So Italy need to use their kick and use it cleverly, which they did there through Bussato. And
then they win the ensuing line out, and it's been a good start to this second half for the Italians. And away goes Vitoni in midfield and sets it up for Bretagne. And now a ball in the arms of Silari. It's Furlan who does the clear out work, and the Italians just as they looks to come back this way. It's still forward by that hooker Batoni. Then Ireland will get the put in. Actually, it wasn't Batoni, it was the number 8, Arrighetti, who knocked it forward. Ireland with the put into the scrum.
Here we just see Italy getting up, hand up in front there, and just turning over the ball, and then Italy moved it quite well across the park, but they didn't make any ground. They had no forward ball on that.
In terms of the, let's call it the meat and two veg of the Irish game, doing the basics well. The scrum has been outstanding, the defence has been good, the ball handling under the conditions not bad, but the line out is something you feel that they won't be happy about and will need to improve on going forward in this Six Nations. Niamh Briggs with the attempts to play territory, and that was controlled by the leg of Nagati and now in the hands of Furlan. And it's Hughes who makes the tackle, and the substitute from the first half, Franco, is knocked backwards by the ever-present Claire Malloy. Ball in hand again for the Italians as Briggs makes the tackle. Salto, and it's with Rigoni, and Italy hold shoot up in defence through Fiona Reedy.
7, you lost it now.
Told to leave her hands off it, and it's there for Furlan, and she steps back inside. It's a bit of forward momentum. Caplace goes after the ball, but it should be there for the Italians.
She's lost it, Green.
It is. Bettoni. Tackle from Griffin. Ireland again sucked in a bit defensively, a little bit narrow, but the ball doesn't go to hand for the Italians, and an opportunity for Ireland to turn it over, and Malloy almost there, and the referee says we'll come back. I think Lindsay Peat was coming in from the wrong place. She came in from the side, but the knock forward happened before the infringement, and therefore Ireland will get the put into the scrum.
Yeah, there we just see a ball over the head and just a slight knock on. Italy, they're playing into Ireland, you know, they've space out wide. They need to look and get Furlan on the ball. She's their most promising player in attack, you know, playing a full back. There is space out in these wider channels. Ireland have dropped the wingers back in comparison to last week, where we saw them on a hard up 13 up defence, where now they've dropped them back a good bit because they're looking to react off the kick that might come through, which means the space is there, so they need to look to get Furlan into those wide channels.
Irish ball through Ailsa Hughes, the scrum half. Griffin controls. Here is Hughes, and Hughes for Flood, and Flood for Williams. That wasn't the best pass in the world from the fullback. And it's knocked forward.
Sarah.
Yeah, again, that was a lovely controlled scrum, slightly up the right-hand side, which meant the flanker couldn't get off to defend. The Italian flanker couldn't get off to defend, and it was just a forward pass into touch.
Bit of attention required for Ireland's second row, Paula Fitzpatrick. Hughes, Flood, who drew the defender, but pass just didn't go to the hand of Megan Williams.
Green 7. Oi, ladies, take the step and move.
Bettoni, short line out for the Italians. Ball goes to hand of Duca, and then out wide, the ever hard-running Franco. Ireland don't turn it over. Guess who? It's Malloy. Briggs can't keep the ball in hand, and it's advantage to the Italians. Big tackle out there from Fitzhenry.
Advantage over.
Franco again. Good offload.
2, you lost it.
Furlan. Bettoni offers herself, Furlan's through. Fullback looks to draw her opposite number, Flood. The ball eventually is away, and Italy have it, and it's there for Baratin and Franco, and Franco carries eventually 2 Irish players, including Niamh Briggs, put her to ground. Guy, prop forward. Caplace gets to her and then looks to get to the ball and does really well.
You lost it there, 6. You've gone to ground.
Anna Caplace almost with the steal. Italy still with the ball. And then Lindsay Peat comes away with it. And then Reedy, and Ireland look to turn defence into attack. And Nupu offloads, and Fitzhenry. Tackle made by Bussato. A little bit scrappy from both sides, not really minding the pill, but Ireland have it now. Niamh Briggs uses that big right boost to try and find her way into the 22, but straight into the arms of the Italians, and Furlan has the opportunity
Blue 6, stop!
to come back. Nubu will watch and claim this. Sene Nubu, big tackle from Furlan. Both sides need a little bit more control. Reedy takes it up for Ireland. Briggs. Flood. Good pass. Fitzhenry on her shoulder. There for Malloy. Malloy offload, Caplace just knocked forward. And the Italians will get the put into the scrum.
Yeah, there we saw brilliant play from both sides. Brilliant attack from Italy to start with. Franco again on her debut, but we'll just look at this line by Katie Fitzhenry. Really good timed, well-weighted pass by Kim Flood to Fitzhenry. And then we see the offload from Fitzpatrick. Malloy there again, it was the right decision. It was just the execution, a slight knock-on from Caprice. But prior to that, we could see what Italy were trying to do. Franco, her debut, a 21-year-old, and by God, is she not out of her place here. And then we saw Furlan on the ball as well, and that's what we need to see from Italy if they wanted to get back into this game. And likewise, Ireland looking to use their big players, looking to move the ball and play down in this half of the pitch.
A couple of changes for Ireland in the front row. In comes Leah Lyons, and Lyons will take over from Fiona Reedy. Lyons, of course, play anywhere in the front row for Ireland. This is Furlan for Italy that you're watching.
Got to survive the
where eventually they
it.
turn the ball over. There's also a change for Ireland. That scrum half, good to see. Nicole Cronin back in the scrum half position, takes over from Ailsa Hughes, who's played well in that opening 50 minutes, but Cronin brings a little bit of extra spark to the scrum half position. Furlan taken on by Baratin, and the ball into touch, and it'll be a throw in. I think Italian ball is what the touch judge on the far side suggested.
You got a choice again, line out.
Nicole Cronin, UL Bows, 5th international cap.
Line out, coach.
She's all action.
Yeah, she was one of the Irish players that stood up in the World Cup, you know, getting her first cap in the World Cup, and every game she performed. And it was a bit unusual that she wasn't in the squad last week and then sitting on the bench this week. It's great to see her coming into the game, and, you know, she's huge potential.
There from Cronin, from Maloney.
Push, onside.
Cronin, Briggs, Griffin. Cronin again, Briggs. Did well. Here's Lindsay Peat.
Tackle 13.
Silari looks to try and strip the ball, and Italy have it.
Got to release it.
But they have it
Tackle
illegally.
is complete.
And a penalty to Ireland now. Territory, surely, and Griffin sticks out an arm as captain and says to Cronin, wait. And Briggs will be brought forward, you think, to probe the corner.
Yeah, and I think it was said again at the halftime analysis to look at the Irish maul. It was good against France last week and they got it going, but we have to win our line out first, which has been a bit of error-strewn in the first half.
But all the time, you look at the progression of this Irish team rebuilding again from that Grand Slams a couple of years ago, 5 years ago now, and whole raft of new players, and you look particularly at that scrum half position and think there's beginning to be options there for the coaching staff. You look at Hughes, Cronin, Larissa Muldoon, hopefully back next year, and it's that sort of strength and depth across the international setup that Ireland will be looking for over the coming years as they build towards the next World Cup. And Ireland go to the maul. We've seen little or none of it before now in this game, but it's impressive when it gets going. Good control from Ireland. And Cronin organising the pack to keep moving forward. Goes to ground, but the ball is there and the scrum half can see it. And here's Briggs, and an opportunity for Ireland. Briggs has knocked it forward. And she'll be furious
Forward off green.
Yeah, that's what we talk about, that Irish maul. It was a bit loose, but it kept going forward. Really good momentum. Good line-out win. A little bit crooked, but we'll say nothing about that if the ref doesn't call it. Great setup at the start. Italy dispatched it a little bit and get it in amongst it, but good control by Cronin here, and Leah Lyons going forward. We just see here slightly overhead and knock on by Donnybrook. She'd be bitterly disappointed with that because Ireland had a 4-man overlap.
Shoulders. Crutch.
Baratin will
Bind.
feed this scrum for the Italians,
Stand up.
and it'll be a nervy moment or two
Both
for them.
leaning on each other, okay? So let's reset it. Blue ball.
Yeah, this is really important scrum for Ireland, in a really strong position defensively, and they've been so positive in their scrum. They know that they have it. It's a matter of all 8 of them working together now to drive past the Italian ball.
Crutch. Bind. Sit. Steady, green.
Ireland's scrum is strong, but the Italians do a really good job defensively. And away comes the winger, Sophia Stefan. And they knew they were going to be under pressure, the Italians, and they did really well. And is that one going to find touch? No.
It's gone backwards
Initially, but yes, in the end, as Megan Williams intended to keep it in, and maybe better off leaving that one, would have given Ireland the throw in to the line out, but instead it's the Italians who have it.
Clever play by Italy. You know, they're under severe pressure in the scrum, but they're getting the ball in and out really, really quickly.
Good line-out work from Locatelli, and Italians, all sorts of movement in that back line, taken on by Silari. Where's the ball for the scrum half? She eventually finds it. Rigoni, the Italian 10-metre line. Baratin, taken on by Araghetti. Little pop pass back inside, knocked forward, says the referee. Basic errors coming from both sides. Advantage played to Ireland, none accruing. Ireland will get the put into the scrum. 55 minutes gone. Ireland lead it by 7 points to 3, and I'm sure that the Italians feel the longer they can hold in there, having taken a bit of a battering in terms of possession and territory over the 55 minutes that have gone before. Yes, they've had their moments, but Ireland, you feel, have been in control. The longer this goes on with such a small gap on the scoreboard, you feel the Italians think we might just be able to steal this one.
Yeah, like Ireland have definitely been in control, and they've had most possession. It's what they're doing with the possession. They're not clinical enough at times. Obviously the scrum, there's another penalty off the scrum, but Italy, all they need is one break, and they've the players, they've the likes of Furlan, they've the likes of Rigoni, that all they need is a little gap and they'll be gone.
Touch it goes. Yeah, from an Irish perspective,
to the line out quicker, okay?
It's been a big improvement from a week ago, and lots to build on, but the accuracy for the entire game hasn't been what they would have wanted it to be. That's the reason they don't have more points on the board. They've had the opportunities, but something has just gone awry on every occasion that they've been there or thereabouts. Now, Leah Lyons has taken over the line-out throwing duties and finds Claire Malloy. Will Ireland go to the maul? No, they won't. They'll go to a Lindsay Peat run around the front and put to ground by Franco. Cronin for Malloy. Malloy hands off, gets the legs going again. Griffin on her shoulder, there to protect possession. Briggs, Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry put to ground by Araghetti.
Leave it!
Screaming at the referee that the Italians are on the wrong side and slowing it down. Maloney is carrying Cronin in to whip it out again. Lindsay Peat, good offload. Briggs. Ball back for Nicole Cronin. Who's going to carry next? Claire Malloy. Malloy rolls over, ball presented. Lindsay Peat. Peat straightens the line, steps back in, and eventually put to ground with a hard tackle, but good work by Ireland's prop forward. Here's Briggs.
Off the
juggled with it again, but
fine.
held on to possession. And the Italians are in again in that position. Ireland guilty once more of not minding the ball. They're going to get another opportunity because the penalty is theirs.
Holding on.
Yeah, it was a brilliant turnover by Italy. You know, Ireland doing really well, going through the phases, but getting isolated, one-off runners and no support into ruck over. And luckily for Ireland, they get the penalty there. You know, we talk about improvements, and there's been vast improvements from last week, but still that accuracy. But in fairness, this team flew home on Sunday. They're not together. They meet up again on Friday evening. They probably have one training session together and a captain's run. So there's very little that you can actually fix in that amount of time. Here we see barging in Anna Capeless over the ball, and that's where the penalty comes from. Great work by the number 6.
Shoulders up.
Opportunity
Crouch
for Ireland. 7 metres out,
Fine.
8 maybe, from the Italian line. Most potent weapon, their scrum, their feed. And it's at the feet of Griffin and Cronin. And Flood thought about the offload, held on.
Onside blue.
Williams plays scrum half. Fitzpatrick with Friday on her shoulder. Lyons make sure no one comes through. Cronin there as well.
Push, onside.
Ball there for the scrum half once more. Briggs. Ball over the head of Nupu, but Fitzhenry is there. Fitzhenry still has Ireland. Make sure that the ball is there, and Cronin, little break from the scrum half. Surely Ireland will do it from here. Hands in again. That's the second or third infringement from the Italians. With
got a penalty back here.
Ireland
I haven't made
right on their line.
Calm down.
And I think Paula Fitzpatrick getting frustrated that the referees allowed them away with it.
Got a penalty over there where your injured player is, or right here.
Really good play by Ireland. Great decision to go for the scrum off the penalty, and from that, sustained pressure, putting Italy under huge amounts of pressure that they have to give away the penalty in this area, and that's a number of penalties in this area when Ireland are on the attack. So Ciara be in the ear of the referee there just to put it in his mind, and we see Ciara Maloney, Cliona Maloney down injured there, which isn't looking good with her shoulder.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, thanks.
Maybe slightly surprisingly.
Time off, the hooker's down.
The decision from Ireland's captain is to go for the corner when 3 metres out, 4 metres out, you feel that Ireland's scrum might have offered the better platform, but we'll see how that one goes, and the decision will be vindicated if the result is points, as Ciara O'Connor comes into the game, and unfortunately Cliona Maloney is not able to continue, and that's a worrying sign for Ireland with the rest of the Six Nations in front. Ireland's hooker holding on to that right shoulder and elbow area, and well, hopefully she'll be okay. Back to the game. Ireland threatening again. Lindsay Peat with their hands on it. Malloy ready. Caplace on her shoulder. Friday there as well.
Blue, take a step.
Ball there for the scrum half, Cronin. Italy set their defensive line again, and it's been a strong defensive line. Into the final quarter. What can Ireland do? Briggs. Cronin again. Peat. Cronin has a little look both ways. Finds her captain Griffin. Friday in. Scrum half for Peat once more. Straightens up. Flood goes over, makes sure the ball is there for Cronin again. Briggs. Fitzpatrick. Italy up really quickly defensively and shut Ireland down. Narrower of the two sides for Griffin. Held up by Silari. Cronin again. Friday. Peat. Lindsay Peat over the first tackle. Ireland back to within 8 or 9 metres. Leah Lyons. Strong carry from Lyons. Patience required. Accuracy too. Briggs. Nupu almost through. Williams on her shoulder. Fitzhenry there, ball secured, Flood, Briggs steps back inside. Big tackle from Rigoni, was that high? Referee doesn't seem to think so. Cronin again, Malloy, Claire Malloy beats 2, carries another 2, almost there. Ireland 3 metres short. Nupu,
Thank you. Advantage.
Sene Nupu, oh, line at her mercy.
Number
The
12,
offload
blue
to
offside.
Briggs. It's head in hands time.
Yeah, you wonder if Sene Nupa really packed herself and drove for that line that she might be over,
blue
but
offside.
she's looking for that offload, and another knock on there by Niamh Briggs. She'd be bitterly disappointed with that. This all came from a line out of it. Here we just see Sene driving
she have
through.
done herself?
She was free. There was defence coming across that might have got her, but I think with Sene's power and strength, I think she would have made the line.
Blue, stay there.
Well, the referee went back. Penalty into the
Advantage knock.
touch. It went, and Ireland had to throw into the line out, and they butchered the
Onside,
opportunity.
green.
And away it goes from Rigoni. And the Italians, to their credit, they have scrambled their defence. They've held up firm because Ireland have had multiple opportunities and phases, and the Italians have somehow, and sometimes it's by the slimmest of margins, found a way to deal with it.
Yeah, no, definitely credit to Italy's defence. They're coming up hard, they're putting in tackles, but I have to say it's Ireland's poor accuracy that's letting them down in these key positions.
Lions, Griffin,
Maul!
and the maul from a long way out. Lions has it at the back. Good body positions. Fitzpatrick barking the orders. Lions and Griffin. And they continue to batter away, and they break away about 2 metres short. Now where's the ball? There for Cronin. Surely the opportunity to convert for Ireland will be taken.
Onside, hands up, hands up. Get up, get up.
Lions again. Short, says the referee. Cronin digs it out.
Advantage.
Ireland carry again. Advantage being played once more. And the penalty comes, and surely now the referee will do more than award a penalty.
Every time Ireland are on the attack, putting pressure under Ireland, they're going to give away penalties in this area, and he's going to have to talk to them or go to his pocket for the card.
So the penalties for offside, you've got your hands in front of the ground, okay? So you're offside, you need to bring them up, okay? Thank you. Tell the players.
Well, no more than a explanation.
Okay,
Not
just bring
even
them
a
up, okay?
particularly strong lecture, but you can understand from an Irish perspective,
Scrum's called.
at least 4, if not more, penalties in the last 6 or 7 minutes while Ireland have been in this position, and it's deeply frustrating. But as you say, Fiona, they could be equally frustrated with their own accuracy.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good decision here to go for a scrum. And the last time we went for a line out in this position and we got nothing from it. So a dominant scrum 5 metres out. Ireland really need to push to get something off this.
5, 6.
Nicole Cronin.
Hold.
Griffin and the 8. Now, will they try and walk it in from here? Cronin. Briggs. Ball protected. Malloy can see it. Picks and goes herself. Claire Malloy. Cronin. Leah Lyons. The Italians continue to doggedly make the tackles. Peace. Lindsay Peace. Short, says the referee, but not by much, and Ireland feel they're over, and they are! Is it the captain? Is it the captain? It is! Try for Ciara Griffin. Well, they banged on the door for long enough, and eventually it opened.
Again, it came off a scrum. You question whether you should have left it in that scrum and kept looking for the drive and the pushover try, but went out. Strong, powerful carry, and then we see Lindsay Peat. Strong 5 metre carry, held up short, recycles the ball really well, and Ciara Griffin's there just to put her hand down over the line. You know, just reward for all the pressure. It's been all Ireland for the last kind of 10-15 minutes, and they had to come away with something, and again it came off a strong scrum.
And it sets up this opportunity for Waterford's Niamh Briggs. That's what faces her. 59th international cap for Briggs. And it's good. 14 points to 3. Ireland lead it.
Yeah, super conversion by Niamh. I know she had the wind behind her back, but it was still a very difficult angle. Here we see it. Really good strike and follow through.
Yeah, there was a doubt about Briggs' availability to Ireland right up until about an hour and a half before this game, but she's fighting fit and delivered for Ireland on that occasion, and Ireland lead it by 14 points to 3. Now, have the Italians got any answer? They have rarely, if ever, threatened Ireland's line in terms of try scoring. Yes, they've broken a couple of times, but never got into the red zone and really worried Ireland. They're going to have to do something pretty quickly if they have any ambition to win this game. Here's Furlan. She's one of the women that can do it. Good tackling as Malloy goes in to try and steal, and she's on her feet.
All right, sir.
And she's turned it over. Terrific work from Ireland's open side. Malloy there again. And the ball is there for Friday. Fitzpatrick clears it out. Cronin and Briggs. And O'Connor, the substitute. Ciara O'Connor, Galwegian's prop.
Leave it.
Leah Lyons. Cronin
First goal there,
needs to get there as Nagati tried to get her hands on it, and the scrum half did well. Briggs. Right idea, not the execution she wanted, as Italy arrived in numbers, and they've turned it over. Briggs pinged for holding on the ground.
She's on her feet.
Yeah, brilliant work by Stefan there. She got a foot to the block off the kick, and then she was straight in over Niamh Briggs for the turnover.
And Rigoni into that wind, does well, brings play just inside the Irish 22.
Yeah, there we see Magatti again. There was space in there for Niamh Briggs to kick into, but Magatti got a foot to it, and here marginally off her feet there, but she was over the ball and the first person there.
Green hole.
You know, when we speak about depth and, you know, a 9, obviously there's huge depth coming through, but in that 10 position after Nora Stapleton's retirement, having to move Niamh Briggs in there, which is the right option. There is a lack of depth coming through, but there is players like Eve Higgins who's in with the 7, so I'd love to see her get a shot in the 15s game. I've watched her since she's 15 come up through the ranks, and it would be absolutely brilliant to see her come into this 15s team.
Mo, good set.
Duca, and the Italians win their line out. Now a little
touch
kick through from Rigoni, but
hands off, Blue! Hands off!
Wasn't executed particularly well. Took a
back foot
bounce along the way off an Irish player back on the Irish side, and it's there for Briggs to clean her lines, and she does that. The ball bounces back into play, and it looks sure to go in to touch, and Furlan comes away with it. Williams should have done better with the first tackle. Lindsay Peach tries to get to the scrum half, or to the full back. It's Ireland's scrum half, Cronin, who does the job. Rigoni.
Right.
Tackle in midfield is made on Veronese by Malloy. Stefan off her wing. Ireland have players in, and the job is done once more. In terms of turnover, it's Malloy again.
Yeah, we're seeing Claire Malloy at her best. Last week we probably didn't see as much of her because she was in doing such dirty work, but today we're seeing her at her best, you know, in over the ball time and time again. Her work rate is phenomenal.
Well, here you'll see it. Stefan in. Nopu made the tackle. Malloy made sure she cleared her hands off the player and then went about her work, and that work gave Ireland the turnover. But here was Furlan on that attack, and Cronin making the tackle there when Williams had missed and Pete couldn't get there.
Yeah, I really think I've said it before, Furlan is the key to Italy unlocking this Irish team, and if they want to do anything, it's to get her on the ball. She's an exciting player.
Briggs, Nopu, McLaughlin, Flood and Williams. Kick from Ireland's winger is a good one over the head to Furlan. Fitzhenry is going charging after this, and so is Williams, and so is Flood, and Furlong finds herself engulfed in a sea of green. Did well, though, the Italians, to get back and ensure they held on to possession. And it's Lucia Gai on her 54th international cap who carries, and then it's back to the inside centre Rigoni to complete the job, and that's good work by Italy in defence.
Team Green, sub.
And Ireland are going to make a change.
No. Okay, cancel that.
No, they're not.
Play on.
Yes, they are. On again, off again, on again.
Not yet, no, they've changed their mind.
Everybody's changed their mind.
Yeah, that was clever play by Ireland. They looked to spin the ball wide. Megan Williams, not really a kicker of the ball, but we saw it last week. She had no other option. The space was in behind, she kicking, and we saw it this week, and it worked out quite well. Ireland are here in a good position.
Lyons to the Irish line out. Up goes Friday and down to Cronin and Briggs and Nupu. And here is Williams. And Williams ducks one way, then the other. And eventually she's put to ground. Malloy, 2 Italians to put her to ground. Claire Malloy presents the ball, it's there for Nicole Cronin, and Niamh Briggs goes to her toes and picks it up off her laces. Cronin, options both ways, goes the narrower of the 2 sides. Here's Malloy again, draws a defender, McLaughlin comes back inside. Italy being asked to defend once more. Cronin again. Pete. 6 metres short, Ireland again. The Italians lying offside. Referee keeps the arm down. Lyons pumps the legs. Cronin looks to see what's on. Lindsay Pete. Malloy in to secure possession. Cronin can see it again. Briggs. Niamh Briggs. Did she ground it? Well,
we'll check though.
The referee, I think, believes it was held up, but he's going to ask the television match official Graham Hughes to make the decision for him.
Yeah, again, this came from a really good Irish line out just outside the 22. Brought the winger Megan Williams into the game. Strong carries again by Lyons and Pete, and then a really, really good carry by Niamh Briggs. But it's all coming from quick ruck ball. When the quick ruck ball, here we see Niamh driving through.
Tim, I've got
Was there an Italian player underneath her?
Hello, Tim.
Graham.
I think she's there.
Yes or no?
It's Graham Hughes' opinion that counts.
I can hear him.
In the good old days, there wouldn't have been a debate. Momentum is what got her there. No doubt she was over the line. And underneath her is the substitute, Oramuzzo. But if you're going to go on the basis of being definitive, you can't see it, and therefore
Tim, have you got me now?
it's going to be awarded.
Yes.
Yep, we're on.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. There's nothing clear from the TV angles at all.
Yep.
So if it's a try, yes or no, it's going to have to be a scrum 5 green ball.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And based on
try.
the fact of what he saw, it's hard to argue with that decision.
Yeah, it looks like an Italian knee was under it. There was no clear grounding of the ball, so it's the correct decision by the TMO. However, Ireland have to be confident here with their scrum, 5 metres out. What they've produced so far, really an all 8 you'd be looking to push over.
Crouch! Bind! Sits!
Nicole Cronin feeds Ireland's scrum. It's at the feet of Captain Griffin. And Ireland look to get that forward momentum that they've had throughout. The front rows pop up.
Front rows are up.
The referee is just going to reset.
Yeah, the front rows pop, but that was from the pressure from Ireland, and they need to look to go again, keep their angle slightly lower and drive straight through as opposed to up.
Who's that, sorry?
Yep. Really good width from the Irish backs here. If they were looking for some backline attack move, then you really need to suck the Italians in a little bit more by doing something with the back row.
Bind. Sit. Steady.
Second time of asking. Ireland again get the scrum moving in the right direction. This is ominous for the Italians. It's at the feet of Griffin. It's at the feet of Griffin. And she finishes. Try number 3 for Ireland. Try number 2 for Ireland's captain. And if there was any doubt about the result of this game, that is that.
And again, what a scrum, all 8, and that's a packed try, and I know Griffin's the one to dot it down, but powerful 8 scrum here. You know, it's been coming all game. They probably let it out, but such control as well by Griffin. She kept it at her feet, really good footballing skills, and great driving from the 8, and she just dots it down.
Yeah, the pick to finish. Try for the 8. And reasonable that it's the captain who accepts it on their behalf. And Briggs with the opportunity to add another 2. On its way, over it goes. And the scoreboard has a sunny look about it from an Irish perspective. They lead it by 21 points to 3. 3 tries on the board, 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, it has been All Ireland, and you know, it's a deserving result. They'll be disappointed at times with their accuracy, but they've come good on the scoreboard, and as I said, they'll just look to develop on the next games, and it's brilliant to have 2 more home games before you have to go away to England.
Niamh Briggs has made way, and it's Claffey who comes in.
Off green, level.
Here we just see an unusual error from Paula Fitzpatrick, so assured normally underneath the ball.
Getting to that time where you'll need to consider your player of the match. We'll come to that in a moment, but first this scrum and Baratin with the feed. And it's a difficult one for Adeghetti to deal with, but the Italians should have it and do have it, but they're retreating as they do. Ireland offside, and away goes the Italian captain. Left until she travel 10, Stefan, and then out wide is Silari. Ireland again making the tackles, Malloy in there. That's the substitute who's had an impact, no doubt about that. Franco on her first international cap. We'll be seeing more of her as this tournament unfolds. Ball in hand of Lucia Guy. There for Branatan. Stefan steps back inside, and Caples goes in search of the ball. And then Megan Williams, but Italy have it, and Franco will be bypassed on this occasion. And it's Locatelli. Tackle is a good one, no boo in there. Italy have the penalty.
Number 12 hasn't rolled, so you've got all rights to
into the final minute.
12 hasn't rolled.
The decision, I think, will be to go for the corner, and Rigoni. As they do that, let's consider players of the match. Big performances from your perspective?
Yeah, I think Franco's come on to the Italian team and made such a difference to that side, and as you said, we'll definitely see more of her.
Number 2,
I just think you can't look past Claire Malloy. She does her job so well and more. She's around the ball, she's on the ball. Everything good that comes out of Ireland is from the pack, and it's from Claire Malloy leading it, so I think she's player of the match for me today.
There she is. Ireland's number 7 player of the match. And a couple of changes. Caples is out, and also Lindsay Peat. And if Caples is out, it means an international debut for Adele McMahon. Adele McMahon goes into the back row. The Galwegians player, born in County Clare, gets her international debut. Claire Malloy announced as Ireland's player of the match as the Italians win the line out and 3 metres short.
Sivan, just stay there, Sivan. 16, release! Now hands up, push back.
Consolation potentially for the Italians. They're over the line, and I think they've grounded it. They have. Who gets up? In go Italy. And it was 3 metres out, the pick, and it was Ricci who got there.
That's it.
Prop forward scores the consolation try, and the Italians have something to build on for the future of their Six Nations. And Ireland, well, you'll feel, and they'll feel, that was one that they shouldn't have given away.
Yeah, it was time. There was lots of changes coming on, but I think Ireland, their defence has been quite good throughout the game. To let it slip in the last 30 seconds to allow Italy in for a try, they'll be disappointed with that. But you know, it was a well-worked try. It was off a line out, and then Ricci going over. But before that, Bar team was trying to speed up the game. She was chasing. She knew that there was something in them, and you know, just reward for, I suppose, a sustained pressure there for Italy.
And a chance for Silari to add another 2. Has it got the legs? No, it doesn't. And that will be that. Ireland deserving of their victory. The Italians brave in defence, but apart from those last moments, really struggled to threaten the Irish try line. And Claire Malloy and the rest of her team will be more than happy with their afternoon's work.
Yeah, you know, after last weekend, to bounce back and get a good win, they'll turn it around now again. They have a week off, they'll have a lot of work to do with their accuracy and clinical. Looking forward to Wales coming over, and it'll be a tough game against Wales. You know, Wales had a rout, got beaten well, and got beaten well, but yeah, no, it'll be good performance. Sorry, yeah, it's Wales coming over, so
it is.
You know, Wales had a good run out in the first game, beating Scotland and ever improving Scotland's side by 1 point, but they'll be coming here after a big loss to England. But Ireland have a week. Their scrum is obviously a key area. Their line out they need to improve, and their accuracy.
Well, there it is, the final score at Donnybrook. Ireland 21 points to Italy's 8.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm with the Aon player of the match, Claire Malloy. Congratulations. We'll have the presentation here. How important is it to get that first win and get back up and running with a win at home?
Absolutely massive. It's been a while since we've had a win. It's a massive boost to the girls. I think we played a more expansive game of rugby at time. Our handling and execution let us down, but it was nice to show that we can move a ball around and really threaten teams in attack. We'd be disappointed that we conceded the try there at the end. Otherwise, we just know what we've got to work on for the next game, which is going to be a big game against Wales.
When you look back at it, do you think